report. See that.
I would like to welcome everyone and call the Wednesday, May 13th, 2026 regular school committee meeting to order. If we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, the flag is over Principal McKinnon's shoulder in the corner of the room. We'd like to welcome everyone and call the Wednesday, May 13th, 2026 regular school committee meeting to order. If we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, the flag is over Principal McKinnon's shoulder in the corner. Is that really? Yes. I appreciate all your patience. Let's commence with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag, the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. What? Still getting over that. Let's have a moment of reflection in our minds. Excellent. Thank you all. I will accept a motion to approve the consent agenda items 2.1 through 2.5. Moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Consent agenda is approved. Public input. Mr. Ara is here from the Historic Preservation Advisory Committee. I'm tempted to let you speak now to do your spiel. This way you don't have to stick around for the meat and potatoes unless you do want to stick around for the whole show.
You're in charge.
All right, perfect. Then let's have you do your presentation regarding the plaque that we're looking to put on the exterior of the building, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Ara.
My name is Ara Sadanians. I'm the chair of the Historic Preservation Advisory Committee that we set up. The town set it up a year and 5 months ago. We've been in operation, and the goal is to recognize notable, architecturally interesting and valuable buildings with a plaque. And we have installed, if you have noticed, on several of the town-owned buildings, and we're moving on to have privately owned properties to be recognized, and we have several applications. I presented this to the town council 3 months ago because the town owns the building technically, but I was told that the school committee has custody over it, so I would ask your permission to do so. Generally, the plaque is put on the entry door of the building. It's told, I do have your very plaque in my hand, and it will cost you nothing because we are done. And that's what the plaque looks like.
Oh, very nice.
We spent some time making sure the name is spelled accurately, and to the best of our understanding, that's the correct spelling of the name. And there are some details of who the architect was, who the builder was, and then the fact that it combined 10 single room schools into one. So it's notable historically as well, not just architecturally. The intent is to place it obviously on the old part of the school, not the new part, since it doesn't meet the criteria, and the criteria is 75 years or older. So that's what I'm here for.
And just to be clear, that would go on the exterior of these
doors right here.
these exit doors. You know, for the committee members, and I know it's a little hard for the public, but when you sign into board docs, it's right there, and it would be placed on. Ara, did you say the facing the building, the right-hand side of the entryway?
I do not remember where the handle to open the door is. Usually it's preferred to put on the handle side, so that's how people go in. But if you can go on either side, that's a personal choice in a way. The building and the door is rather symmetrical, so in terms of symmetry, it's not going to have any negative effect. Obviously, ultimately, the decision is yours because it's your building. The committee just gives their recommendation.
Excellent. Does anyone have any questions for Ara regarding recognizing the Wilbur McMahon School. Older part of the building is a historic piece of Little Compton's history.
One thing that came up through the committee, a couple of members brought to my attention to see if the education department of the school, not the administrative, will be interested to have some form of student education about historic buildings and the importance of recognizing it as such.
I think that would be something our students would, our teachers would be very interested in. It's finding the grade level where, this history and time of Little Compton, say colonial ages. I want to say that's probably might be in the 4th, 5th grade area, if I'm not mistaken, with their social studies. But I think that would be a great idea.
The second question is whether you would like this to be installed or you would like to have some kind of event around it. What we have done with the library, simply I called Christian Sylvia from the newspaper and he took some pictures and he asked some questions. And occasionally those kind of things get printed depending on the volume they have of importance during that week or month.
I would also defer to you on this. If the students want to be involved,
Yeah.
I think it would be a great
Yeah.
engagement.
To have something, some sort of ceremony
Yeah.
out front. Listen, I certainly don't want to be the one making the decision. I keep, because you see those around on buildings, particularly in Massachusetts. Are you saying that it goes onto the door itself or just to the right?
Sorry, to the side of the door.
All right, thank you. Yeah, that's where I would think it would be.
Not on the door.
Thank you. That's kind of what I was thinking, like to the right of the door. Yeah, but someplace where you could see it.
As you're entering.
Yes.
You're exiting, if you can backwards.
So I think the goal tonight is to get the approval from this committee, as ours already received the approval from the town. And then from there, we can work out the details, if you will, of engaging a teacher and a class to the posting of the sign, the plaque, if you will. This way it could kind of be, rather than it just going up in the dead of night and Chris Osborne's the only one that knows it's on the wall, on the building.
Exactly. Do you have a timeline, like when you guys would like to see it put up?
Yeah, no, there is no timeline released.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I would love to see it before the end of the school year, but like everything right now, we're kind of up against it with time. But you know what? Let's see if we can put our heads together.
Field day?
Yeah, something like that.
Graduation?
Yes, graduation day is coming up in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. That might be sometime right before that. Might be a great time to do it and have it up for graduation. I agree. I think it'd be nice.
So if you will agree, then I will coordinate with Tim Simmons. He's the one installing it.
Okay.
As well as the newspaper to let them know we're having such an event. There's only 1 week I'm away, which is the last week of May.
That would be good. We're June
I'm
15th.
not essential to it, but I would like to be there.
I think it's important that you're there. I do.
I agree.
Thank you.
Mark had some questions. Go ahead.
So what are the names there of the architect and the builder, if you would?
Edward Corbett
Uh-huh.
is the architect and J.M. Darling is the builder.
And I'm assuming with you having representing the historical advisory committee that you've sort of done some research into those individuals and you've vetted them, you know their story and sort of what sort of people they were and their legacy and things like that.
The Historic Advisory Committee, I wasn't the one who did research. We do research so that we come up with the right name and the right date. How much they have looked into their personal lives, I won't tell you. I don't believe that stuff.
Okay, fair. Sue, Amy? Excellent. We will be voting on this approval on item 8.3 later in tonight's meeting. Ari, you're more than welcome to stay. Otherwise, thank you for joining us tonight and making this presentation. I think it's great that the school will be recognized in a historic preservation type of way.
I appreciate all of your efforts to support this. And you'll text me when it says yes or no.
If you get home in time, you can tune in and watch us.
There we go.
Yeah, but no, I will text you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Excellent. Is there any other public input? Lori, anything? Roger? Excellent. Well, we'll turn it right over to Principal McKinnon and the spring update at Wilbur McMahon School.
Great, thank you, Chairperson Travis, members of the school committee. Tom will be getting this thing. First thing I want to talk about is our school attendance. This comes from a screen that you're going to see in a moment, comes from the attendance tool that RIDE shares with us. It keeps track of our everyday attendance. And the big thing about this is I look at the overall number of days that have been missed, and we're 17% better than we were a year ago. So that's a good sign. They keep track of a lot of things. It keeps me kind of in line with who I need to, students that we need to address and families we need to address. But so far, so good. It also sees, you'll also see on this a little line graph down the bottom, and it gives you an idea of where our peaks of absentees takes place and where our best absentee takes place. So it's something that we look at to address. You can see it right down the bottom. Like it looks like somewhere around, it looks like it was the week we came back sometime in February that we had great attendance. I think the kids were ready to get back into school after that snow. I think we might have had one person out that day. That's where you see that big valley there, 3/4 of the way through the school year. But so far, so good when it comes to that.
Great job, Mr. McKinnon, because I know being in meetings with you and rallies and all school meetings and stuff, that was something from the beginning of the year and even into last year that you were pushing in all different ways, and that hard work paid off. I think it was a consistent message, and that was really great.
And again, Mark, it's a team. Between Miss Krager, Miss DeGiulio, Darlene Goodrow, keeping us all on task, letting us know, all right, we might have a little problem here. And there's always that reach out. So it's something every school needs to do, because no learning is going to take place if they're not in seats. So they got to be in there.
Yep.
Our next slide, you'll see on here, if you had the opportunity to go to the Mary Poppins, every year, Noah Russo, Nicole Oriole, and Jen Segala put together their series of musicals. And I have to say, every year it just keeps getting better and better. This year, as you know, it was Mary Poppins Jr. Just great performances. And I always say this to Nicole and Noah. I said, hey, why don't we do a dress rehearsal before the show starts on Friday night? And they insist on doing it, after they get through the two shows to the public. I'll tell you, Friday night, it went off without a hitch. They did very well, and the kids should be proud of themselves. And I know that the three coaches that were involved certainly did a fantastic job. Next slide, Tom. Okay, state assessments have almost finished up. We just have some makeups that are going to be going on over the next 2 weeks. And the plan is for next Thursday night or Thursday afternoon, 4:00, we'll be at the Longplex in Tiverton. An opportunity for our kids to celebrate the RICAS. All we ask is that they give it their best effort on the test. That's all we ask, because that's all we're ever going to know anyways, at this point in time. And we do think our students did a fantastic job this year, taking their time with the testing. Next slide. Our 5th and 6th grade, 2 weeks ago, I think it was the week we got back from April vacation, under the direction of Maureen Devlin, one of our 5th grade teachers, and Nicole Gay, our 6th grade social studies, individual societies teacher. They went up to the King Tut exhibit up in Boston. They braved a school bus ride all the way up there, 2 hours up and about 2.5 hours back, and made it back before the end of before the buses were leaving. So kids had a great time up there, seeing some great history. Next slide. Community projects are wrapping up. We have an exhibit that is going to be taking place Thursday. It's Thursday the 21st. Our RICAS celebration at the Longplex is on the 20th. This is on the 21st, May 21st, Thursday. These are just some pictures of some of the projects we're working. We have students working with Luke Driver renowned stonemason in Little Compton, talking about the importance of stone walls and the stories that stone walls tell. We had two boys involved with recognizing the work of our fire department and the past, present, and future firefighters. And last weekend, our student up in the top right-hand corner, Katerina, had a Ukraine Forward presentation over at the Little Compton Community Center, raising money for the children of Ukraine. Raised over $4,600 for, yes, for the Saving Ukraine, which was phenomenal. And she did an absolute fantastic job with it. Next slide, Tom. 2 weeks ago, we had our Earth Day put together by our green team, Miss Amy McLean, our Farm and Cedar School, which is a lot of people, but I'm going to use Jess Higgins and Nicole Gay. They put together, there were 6 different stations that the students moved around to. Saw all the different things. The bottom right-hand corner, we had Sakonnet lobster there with some lobsters that the kids could get their hands on. The principal did not take the lobster home at the end of the day. Back to Mataronis's 8th graders in the middle, did a little cleanup on the triangle, which the school department is responsible for keeping that. I shouldn't say school department, but Wilburn McMahon School is responsible for keeping that area clean. So they went around with garbage pails and some little clamps to pick things up. We also had milk, top right-hand corner, from Aruda Dairy in Tiverton. Kids were working in the Oasis, as you can see, in the top left-hand corner. And down the bottom, I think that is the honeybee demonstration. Greenwood bees. Is that a fair assessment? Is that what's? Okay, it works. They had how the honey is made. So those are 4 of the 6 of the pictures that we had, but just a great afternoon for our kids, involved with this. Next slide, Tom. Last week we had Law Day come in. And it escapes me. We had Judge. Oh gosh, name is on the tip of my tongue. We had a judge and 3 lawyers who came in and spoke to our grade 8 students on this day, all part of our civics class that Mr. Torres runs. Next slide, Tom. Miss McLean had our 6th graders out in the Oasis cleaning up. As you know, the Oasis is located kind of in the center of the building. And like any kind of outdoor area, it does take a lot of work to upkeep on that. So Miss McLean has been out there. We've got, I think right now, 6 raised beds, flowers that have been planted. And we're working on trying to keep some of the weeds down in some of the areas, but the kids did a fantastic job with that, with Miss McLean. Next slide, 2 slides. And we're going to skip that one. There you go. Okay, this was the 5th grade trout release. 5th grade, Jess Higgins. You probably know this. She has a little, I don't want to say it, in her room with the Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management. She's giving some trout eggs, and they grow them basically in the classroom. And on this day in end of April, they went to Simmons Mill and released the trout into the Simmons Mill pond. And as far as I know, nobody fell in, although there were a couple of kids who were really close. Next slide. And this is up to date. This is current. Our students left this morning at 3:45 a.m. From right in front of the building. Bus pulled up. They got down into Washington, D.C. for 7:45. And when I tell you they hit the ground running, they hit the ground running. Obviously, they made it to the World War II Memorial and also the Capitol by midday. But it's a long day. As I've said before, they get anywhere between 25 and 30,000 steps moving around the city of Washington. And they do not hit the hotel until 9 o'clock at night. It's literally, they hit it, They go up to their rooms and it's like lights out within an hour. So it's a good way to do it. And it's Mr. DeLeo and Miss Miller who put this whole thing together, the two advisors to the eighth grade. I don't know if we have any other slides. I think that is it, Tom. Upcoming events. We do have one more thing. As you can see, there's a lot of things that are upcoming. Talent show next Thursday night. Community project is on that same day. The community project exhibit will take place in here from 3 to 4 o'clock for families to come on in. We are visiting seventh graders visiting PHS next Thursday, the 21st. We're working on a date with our eighth grade, and it's a work in progress. Reading week is upcoming. They had a track meet today down at St. George's. The Science and Engineering Expo and some of these science experiments that the kids are doing are truly fantastic. And that's coming up a week from next Wednesday. We also have 5 students, as you remember, Yale Youth Diplomacy Program that is going to be taking place down in New Haven on the 25th and the 29th. And I want to thank our community for coming together to help pay for the tuition for our students to attend that. There were a lot of groups that did it, and we will be putting something out to them. But I think that's going to be a great opportunity to see the future diplomats, our students working with students from all over the world. Senior Walk, June 4th. That's when PHS, Bishop Stang, Middletown, and we might have 1 or 2 others. They'll do their walk around the building and basically be recognized by their former teachers and the current students here. And again, graduation is on June 15th. That's a Monday. Last day of school is the following day. We will be following it up with 2 days of professional development for our teachers on the 17th and 18th of June. And that is everything that's going on.
Just awesome. I mean, there's always, first off, there's always something, but you just don't realize that it's all grades, it's all ages.
Yeah.
It's in the school, it's outside the school, all sorts of stuff. Awesome that you uploaded even today. Them getting down there and it's
Yeah.
already in the mix.
Yeah, we told them to keep sending the pictures up. So
Absolutely great.
gradient.
Thank you, Principal McKinnon. Excellent. Now we will turn it over to Superintendent Crager.
Thank you. I have 2 items tonight, grant opportunities, strategic plan and school improvement update. First, the grant opportunities. We've come across 2 grant possibilities. One is the Champion Grant that is targeted for middle school. And usually that is STEM related and hands-on activities. So we're not going to miss up the opportunity because we really feel, talking to some of the teachers, that we definitely would like to apply for this grant. It's very competitive. We have to cast the net and see if we would be eligible. We've talked about the greenhouse as a possible project and a few other projects. So it might be a multi-prong approach for the grant, but it's due July 1. So Principal McKenna, myself, and teachers are working on that. The other grant opportunity, and this is both on the municipal side and the school side, it's called the Rural Health Transformation Project or Program. And there are 17 districts that are eligible for this grant, 17 rural districts. There's a great deal of money out there. It has to be career oriented. So in the rural health areas. So Mr. McKenna already met with some of our PE teachers. We're looking at putting in CPR training for 7th and 8th graders. Also extending the curriculum K to 8 for health care, and connecting it with our partner school, Portsmouth. So students would be able to go into their career pathway from Wilbur McMahon. So this is quite an extensive grant. it is competitive, but there is a great deal of money out there. We want to partner with our fire department, with the CPR, get the mannequins that you use for the CPR to train our students. And they would come out certified. So it's pretty exciting. Actually, more than pretty, it's very exciting. And we really want to pursue those 2 grants. So we'll keep you posted on that. They're all due around the same time, July 1. Strategic plan. I know Tom's just going to call this up. I'm not going to go through the strategic plan, but we will have to do this at our June meeting. Our strategic plan is up, and as Mr. McNamee and I are putting our CRP grant together for the state of for the Department of Education, we need an updated strategic plan, and that and the school improvement plan falls into this strategic plan. So we'll be working on that the next month and a half. It's amazing when you take a look at that. As I said, I'm not going to spend time now. We'll do that in June. But when you look at the goals that are in the strategic plan, we have exceeded most of the goals in the strategic plan. So it's very exciting, very exciting.
Excellent. Any questions for Superintendent Prager? Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's time for our 3-hitter. Bringing everybody home, Mr. John, our financial report.
Start off with the 25 year that's currently under audit. We have new auditors. They're engaged in, and I've been submitting a bunch of information. So the target date for that report is going to be the end of June, and that's going extremely well so far. 26, we're starting to get down. I mean, we're 10 months into the year. It's really a month and a half left. I'm projecting about a 46,005 deficit, but over the next few weeks, we'll see those areas like the maintenance and certain items that I haven't adjusted. Hopefully, they'll come into a plane of view, and I'll be able to more than likely try to bring this down to a break even for the year at this point in time. I don't see any particular areas. I mean, we do have some special education expenses that might be a little bit higher than budgeted, but we may be able to offset those. On the capital side, we're pretty much, you've got a projection in there for the year. Everything I think is in place. The good news is this week, we received the $168,000 from the IRS for the credit. I filed that tax return about 6 weeks ago, and that money is in the bank. So we've got that in play. So the next step will be next year, we'll take the monies that we spent in 26 and we'll get housing aid in the following year from RIDE. From that, and I'm anticipating that'll be around 132,000 there. So, and of course, that's going to be dedicated to the HVAC improvement project that we've got. And lastly, Tuesday, the FDM. So everything seems to be in line. Budgets have been mailed out, advertised, and ready to go.
Be remiss to ask anything regarding the credits and the payments with the electrical.
Funny you should ask about that. The superintendent will be sending out the summary in her Friday memo. I've been struggling over the last 2 weeks. I talked to Newport Renewables today. And the problem is that when you look at these Rhode Island energy bills, you can't make heads or tails from these things.
Correct.
So I spoke with Newport Renewables and I've got a good sense of what's happening now. So we generated, I think it was in excess of 214,000 kilowatt hours. Yeah, 214,000 kilowatt hours. So when you look at the bills, we've been averaging in the past about 37,000 kilowatt hours per month. So one of the concerns we have was, are we going to be generating too much electricity out of the project? Especially when we have these virtual net metering credits that are coming in as well too. So at this point in time, I just got to get everything together and get the invoices set up so that I can see that. But the report that will be going out is the $218,000 $218,000 kilowatt hours. So, and we also will receive about $7,800 in what they call energy credits. So they package these things up and they sell them, and we get a commission on these things. So based on every 1,000 kilowatt hours that we generate, we get a particular credit. It wasn't budgeted, so it's an additional 7,800 that'll be coming our way as well. So far it's going well. And then the virtual net metering, I think this year everything will be caught up because Rhode Island Energy was like 8-10 months behind in their billing, and so there were credits that weren't being credited to our account from the virtual net metering. And we weren't seeing the energy coming in from the Rhode Island, from the solar, because Rhode Island Energy wasn't issuing the bills on a timely basis. But so what I'm going to do is put you'll have this report, but then I'm going to put a report together that shows the solar generation, the virtual net metering costs, and ultimately what we're being billed from Rhode Island Energy as well too, so you can see the whole package.
Awesome. I know he is certainly busy in DC, but Michael will be thrilled to hear that. I would just wanted to make sure that we were still on top of that. Excellent job, and look forward to that in the Friday night memo. Anything else to add, Mr. McNamee? Any questions for Mr. McNamee? Moving right along, then we are on to our committee reports. Policy Subcommittee did not meet this month. I'd imagine we will be meeting in. Will we be meeting in June? Well, most likely, tentatively meeting in June, and it will typically be before this meeting occurs. We will keep everybody apprised of that, certainly at the next meeting. And if we do have a meeting, it will be released on the Secretary of State's website as well as Parent Square for everyone to attend. Item 7.2, Portsmouth School Committee liaison. Think report.
No, nothing to report. There was a gap from last month's meeting to our meeting. Their meeting actually occurred after hours, which normally doesn't happen in the month of April. And then May's meeting was last night, and there was some discussion around those PD days at the end of the year. They did have a long discussion regarding Little Compton and Portsmouth being the two school districts that were able to provide distance learning during those 5 days, and how to use those 2 days, similar to the conversations we've had. But everyone's settled, I think, on the same thing that we're doing. And those PD days seem like a real bonus for everyone. And I hope that staff here are excited about it too. Just having the opportunity to do that work. Those 2 extra PD days seem like a great thing. But no, beyond that, just end of the year stuff happening there, but nothing specific.
Thank you, Mark. Ms. Susan. Oh, go ahead.
Get an email from the superintendent of Portsmouth saying that the last day of school was going to be the 17th.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything on that?
They decided that they would do the 1 extra day and then an extra PD day on the 18th. So, yeah.
Okay.
They're splitting the difference. I think, did they, are they doing an extra day on Memorial Day? Is the Friday, is there no school on that Friday? Do you know? Or Memorial Day? Okay.
I didn't see that they didn't. I just saw that Originally, they had it as the 16th,
Yeah.
and then they changed it to the 17th. And
Okay.
I didn't know why. I didn't know if you
Hmm.
heard.
No, I didn't know anything about that. I will look into that for you though, and yeah.
Thank you.
I didn't know that. I thought that they had decided on the 16th like us, and they were doing 2 PD days. I thought that's where they landed.
They did originally. And
Yeah,
then after last month's meeting,
okay,
I got from the superintendent
okay.
in Portsmouth.
Something that I wasn't aware of.
Yeah, don't sweat it.
Yeah.
We'll follow up.
Okay.
You received an email, so I'm assuming all high school students or parents received that email, so at least the messaging is out there.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Mark. Item 7.3, Miss Susan Chase with the Wellness Committee report.
Well, I don't have a lot to report. We have our meeting coming up the end of May. I believe it's Tuesday, May 26th, at 3:15. So the only thing I did want to mention is that the first week in May was Teacher Appreciation Week. And again, we thank our Secaucus PTO and Lori and her crew. And I guess Wilbur Store also contributed to some treats and food and lunches. And so I think that's an important part of wellness throughout the building is when people are appreciated, when the staff is appreciated. So thank you, Lori. And then I would just add that one of the items that has been brought to my attention is there are that for our agenda for the wellness meeting, I believe we might be adding to start a discussion on computer use within the school, because a few parents have reached out to me and I think to you, Travis.
Absolutely.
So I think it's good for us to start that conversation. As I know I've done a little bit more research and I know there is a trend across the country so we just want to stay on top of those thoughts and ideas. So I think that's all.
100%. And thank you, Sue. And to piggyback on what Sue said, that's our job is when we have, we champion the outcomes. When concerns are brought, we make sure we're having the open and honest discussion. I just even think about the electronic use policy. That wasn't, we didn't hit the minimum number of appearances to just put it through.
Mm-hmm.
We had 7, 8 conversations between multiple meetings to give people the opportunity. And this is the same thing. It's an ongoing discussion. It's certainly a concern that has been raised to many of us.
Yeah.
And we just want to make sure that everyone is heard and has the ability to share their thoughts. So good on you for making sure that that's certainly at the forefront there. Item 7.4, Town Recreation Committee report.
Nothing to report from.
The playground's open, isn't it?
Well, yeah, that's an ongoing project. Are the swings open at this point?
Swings are not open.
Okay.
The swings are up. However, the level of the wood chips has to be raised up, and then it'll be safe, because when you look at the swings, the way they're hanging, they seem like they're 4 feet in the air. So the chips have to be raised up, and I think that's something the town maintenance is going to be working on it at some point.
Yeah, the wood chips will be on their way, and we'll do I think we're gonna do the same thing we did in the past, where we do like sort of a call for volunteers and do like a weekend afternoon where they come and dump the wood chips, and then we spread everything out and have like a barbecue or something like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Excellent. And then finally, item 7.5 is Amy Gleischer, Superintendent Search Subcommittee report.
Thank you. So after an initial review of applications, the posting was extended and till next Friday, 27th. A few more applications have been submitted in the meantime since we've extended. And they will be evaluated, and then based on those evaluations, we'll be determining next steps, including the level 2 screening.
Excellent. I know the committee knows, but do you want to share, just so the public knows, how many applicants have we had to this point?
I'm gonna defer to Caroline. We
I
had,
know it's constantly changing, so
it is constantly changing.
We're up to 16.
16. Okay.
Yeah.
Just so when people, this is a process. We want to make sure, in the conversations I've had with Rosemary regarding the subcommittee's findings, to extend it, to make sure we're really casting a wide net here. This is not a decision that is, like anything, being made without being incredibly thorough and thoughtful. So thank you all for your involvement, and looking forward to meeting those candidates in the future. Action items. Consider, discuss, and vote to approve the 26-27 virtual instruction plan. I believe that the plan is unchanged unless Principal McKinnon or Superintendent Krager tell me differently.
It's unchanged.
And I would say after this year, I think I shared with Rosemary on the phone, if you were to tell me we were going to have the blizzard of the century and we were going to reduce the school year somehow by 2 days, I would have, I wish I could have seen those odds, because seems incredibly unlikely. And yet here we are. And it's because of our virtual plan, and not just the plan, but the players in place that came together that weekend before to have the foresight. I mean, mind you, over February vacation, to not just mail it in and say, hey, let's make sure we're available to our families and that they have the materials so we can have instruction that week. And I think we are one of the few districts that is not bleeding into the following week, ourselves, Portsmouth, and I think maybe one or two others. So congratulations to everyone that's in the administration, and certainly all the players that contributed to
I want
that.
to make sure it's in early this year.
Yeah. Do I have any questions, concerns, or comments regarding the virtual instruction plan for 26-27? Seeing as there are none, do I have a motion to approve the virtual instruction plan for 26-27?
So
Do I have a second?
second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 4-0. Thank you all, and thank you for being on the forefront of this, Little Compton School Department. Really appreciate you. Consider, discuss, and approve the updated 26-27 Little Compton School Department calendar. I believe that Rosemary can speak to this further, but this is due to the primary being changed, which I can only imagine they had to move mountains to happen in this state. But go right ahead. So it's
Just because the primary day was moved, all the schools needed to update their calendars, because obviously the school, in many districts, the schools are their primary. They use the voting, the school is voting places. So
correct.
we had to move that. So it's just one day that we added on.
So, but I mean, I see that we now have a 5-day weekend, which I'm not upset about. Trust me there with the Labor Day. That said, did anything else change? Did we add? I don't have the previous calendar in front of me.
Yeah, no, we just extended the day.
Last day of
Yeah.
school.
Awesome. Any other questions, concerns, or comments regarding the adjustment due to the fact that we are a host site for our elected primary election? Seeing as there are none, I will consider a motion to update the 26-27 Little Compton School Department calendar. Do I have a motion?
So
Do I have a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? And then finally, piggybacking on Mr. Ara and the Historic Preservation Advisory Committee, I will consider a motion to approve adding the plaque to the exterior of the original building from the Historic Preservation Advisory Committee. Do I have a motion?
So
Do I have a second? All in favor?
I'm going to say no.
Okay, all in favor?
can we just?
Oh, yeah, discussion, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to double check the historical accuracy of all of the information that's on there. That's all. I'd like to maybe just confer with the Historical Society, just to make sure that everything is accurate. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that I just want to make sure that the architect's name is correct. I had in my mind that it was somebody else. But I'm probably wrong, but I just want to double check that those things are correct. And just make sure that that's really something that we want to affix to the building and that it's totally accurate so that there's no
Okay,
problems.
so would you,
And I'm happy to lead it and go over to the Historical Society, talk to
Yeah.
them and bring some information back.
so would you entertain a motion to approve the plaque in following a check of the accuracy of the architect and builder?
I would.
Do I have a motion to approve the plaque following a check of the architecture, or excuse me, the architect and builder as accurate for from the Historic Preservation Society Committee to be affixed to the exterior of the original building?
And as long as the superintendent's the final check on it, that motion's fine.
Great.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Excellent. Mark, excellent point. Just to make sure, certainly don't want inaccurate information up there. God.
So you know how you have those brass plates that are put up when
Yeah.
parts of the building? I believe there are 3 of them in this building. There's one right out here, one down by the gymnasium, and then one over by, I say the newer wing, but the primary area. You know, it'll have information, I think, about, you know, who was on the building committee at the
Right.
time, who the architect was.
Yeah, I hope for the Historic Preservation Advisory Committee, I hope it's accurate. Otherwise, someone's going to have an extra
It's a
plaque.
gentleman named Dodge for some reason, but it's probably not.
No worries.
So it's kind of just sticking in my head.
No, it's good to be, listen, we want to make sure if it goes up, certainly want to make sure it's right. That is very thoughtful. Do any school committee members have requests for information from administration and or legal counsel? Seeing as there are none, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Thank you all for joining us this evening, and thank you for the thoughtful conversation.
Thank you. I did.